delaying the identification process and greatly affecting their operation. 94 of the 101 confirmed victims have been identified and handed to their loved ones, while 7 remain unclaimed. Siseko Mcakuvana is head rescuer for aid organization Gift of the Givers.
We're not reported to SAPS. Each and every day there's new information that is coming forth. So the operation won't stop till we find every loved one.
Meanwhile, humanitarian aid is set to roll out in Mngxuma district this week, as many distressed families wait and hope that their missing loved ones will also be found. Monke Zikoko, Eyewitness News, Eastern Cape.
Johannesburg Mayor Dr. Marawa says he's confident the metro won't default on its payments to Eskom. This comes after the city reached an agreement with the power utility to settle its 3.2 billion rand debt over a 4-year period. The agreement follows a prolonged dispute over billing issues where the city claimed it was being overcharged. Marawa says the municipality is committed to the repayment plan and will settle the debt in full.
We do spend a particular amount on our bulk purchases, so we'll be able to service the settlement. With Eskom, we don't see that there will be a challenge in relation to servicing the agreement or the settlement, so we will cover the cost.
And lastly, the eThekwini Metro Municipality in KwaZulu-Natal says this year's Durban July will inject 690 million rand into the city's economy. The annual betting event will take place on the 5th of July at the Greyville Racecourse in Durban. The event is expected to provide thousands of jobs during the weekend. City spokesperson Gugu Sisana says a majority of people are expected, and it's a major win for the economy.
Projections show that about 278.6 million boost in direct spend and over 600 million GDP contribution.
A fine Wednesday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Temperatures will drop to overnight lows of between 1 and 4 degrees and peak of highs of between 19 and 20 degrees. Noluthando Ngeno, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Nyoso. Oh, wow. Nyoso. Lodge. Robert, let me take my heads down to Urulani Mkwena, who try to revive the career of Lodge, because most of South African, they write off Lodge. And also, I so wish Lodge was 25 years old, because now they got the opportunity to go overseas.
What were you saying about Lodge?
Maybe now he's going to get something here from Lodge. They do. Wydad get their first goal of the FIFA Club World Cup. Tembinkosi launch.
Club World Cup, Mamelodi Sundowns. I think they left everything on the field of play on Saturday against Borussia Dortmund, Mr. Marawa. They showed hunger, they showed a dedication. They showed that they are not there just to add numbers. They want to achieve something to Club World Cup.
However, my concern with Sundowns is that we do the right things in the wrong place. And for Ronwin to say that we are a team that likes to take risks, to me, it just leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. You know, take risks for what? When we are in a knockout game. These are the sort of things that breed arrogance.
Does the goalkeeper, Ronwen Williams, become a bad goalkeeper overnight? I don't think so. I certainly do not think so. Guys, it's a different level. It is a different level. Let other teams be inspired by Sundowns. Let other teams do and want to do what Sundowns are currently doing.
The ultimate test. The ultimate result for the Proteas.
The only bowler in Test cricket history with a strike rate below 40. Ladies and gentlemen, KG Kagiso Rabada. How on earth does it make you feel to be a world champion right now?
Sure. You know what? It hasn't really sunk in, hey, Rob.
Yeah.
but you know, sometimes it just hits you in stages. So you just think to yourself, man, look at what we've just done. It's pretty awesome, and also with like an inexperienced team. But then also sometimes you're like, you know, you need to keep going forward. So you know, it just comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. So I think it'll take a while.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Yeah, I'm pretty scared tonight. I'm scared it might just go a little bit crazy here because the captain, the greatest captain, is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go!
The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
Temba Bavuma is here, and just any minute from now, we're going to be chatting to him. Our human conversation with him, please, whatever the WhatsApp voice notes, messages, questions, he is here at your service. Let me quickly tell you as well about what's happening on the Springbok front. The head coach, Rassie Erasmus, well, he believes that Saturday's clash against the Barbarians offers a crucial opportunity to assess new talent, reintegrate overseas-based players, and also fine-tune the squad systems ahead of the packed test season ahead. Asenati Ntlabaganye, who's the prop, and also Vincent Chituka, the flanker. Well, both have been named in the relatively experienced starting lineup. Chituka as well is the big number 7 flank, but he also possesses, as we've always seen, some silky touches.
No, Lloyd, if you check the guys, you know, although it's not young guys, I think there's 12 or so that got less than 20 caps, or 8 that got less than 10 caps. So the worst thing you can do for guys like that, in our opinion, that we've discussed, you know, if we focus on us, because if we want to entertain in the way they want to entertain, you know, we might just start the season on a very negative foot, although that might have been a beautiful game, but, you know, you come second in the game. That we don't want. So we want to see Vincent doing his roles well, whilst being Vincent. You know, the same with Morne at 9, the same with Asenati at 3. And I guess the best way, in our opinion, some people might differ, is when you get the safety of the structure, the safety of the systems, but then in those systems shall put your name on it. So yes, we would also love to entertain, and I think if you're going to look at our the players' try records and points for and points against, I think we're scoring our tries, but I don't think we're going to go into this game with a barbarian mindset, because that will pretty much suit them.
Exciting stuff indeed for Rassie and the boys. The Egyptian Giants now Al-Ahly crashed out of the FIFA Club World Cup after drawing their final Group A game against Porto 4-4, despite leading 4 times in the match. And a win wouldn't have been enough, though, for either side to progress to the knockout stage. Though, as Palmeiras and Inter Milan drew 2-2 in the other match in Group A to seal the first and second place, respectively, in the final standings with 5 points apiece. Here's the coach, Jose Riviera.
Today we scored 4 goals. When you score 4 goals in a game like this one, you should be able to run away with the victory. It's not normal to score 4 goals and not winning the match, especially when you get the lead for 4 times. So chances are chances. It's the most difficult thing to do in football is to put the ball in the net. Am I right? And we did it 4 times today. Should be enough to win the game. So I don't think that we have to be thinking about the ones that we missed. We are Al-Ahly. We will never be happy with 2 points. But my time now is for analyzing the performances, the fact that we didn't have all the time that we would like to have to prepare this competition together, and there's a lot of positives for us for the future.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Proud of Temba too. I'm really proud of Temba. He's went through a tough period where he got a lot of criticism because he couldn't get runs, and for South African people are proud that and they're very passionate about the country, and he took it well. He could have given up, but he carried on fighting. It showed when his hamstring was sore. I mean, his career kind of went the same way. He fought through it and did the best he could, and now he's there. So we are proud of them.
The ultimate test, the ultimate result for the Proteas.
the only bowler in Test cricket history with a strike rate below 40. Ladies and gentlemen, KG Kagiso Rabada. Touch on the Temba Bavuma leadership. Talk to us about what that man stands for, what he's done to the unit.
He's been heavily criticized over the years, not only for the captaincy, but him as a player. But you look at the stats just prove them all wrong. That's the first thing. He doesn't react on impulse, on emotion. He's a very calculated thinker.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
All right. I've been waiting for this for the longest time, guys, and that's why I say that today we don't just talk cricket. From the streets of Langa to the summit of world cricket. I mean, he's not just broken barriers. Uziphulile, wazawaphinda, wazakhele zakhe. It's the first black African to score a Test century for South Africa, the first to captain the Proteas, and now the most successful senior men's cricket captain in our nation's history. Full stop. Now, under his leadership, the Proteas have gone unbeaten in 10 Test matches, 9 wins, 1 draw. He's also led us to our first ICC title in 27 years, lifting the World Test Championship mace, doing it all the way at Lords. And he did it. Not just with strategy, but with steel, scoring a gritty 66 in the final while battling what we could all visibly see was a hamstring injury. Ow, ulibambeli ngachoni. I mean, he's passed 10,000 first-class runs, averages nearly 57 as captain, and has become South Africa's leading run scorer in World Test Championship history. I mean, guys, this is not just a cricketer. Lo, ngumkhokheli, ngumfuziselo, ngumntu nomdla wokwakha ikamva. So stand up wherever you are, guys. Stand up, welcome the pride of the Proteas, the captain, the warrior, the history maker. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is...
He comes from Langa. He came to score, came to score, came to score, score, score. His name is Temba. He comes from Langa. He came to score, score, score.
Da 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 da.
Hey, Temba.
Yes.
Temba, lobathanda bebhola. Ever since Tammy Tsolegile faded away from fame, Temba has actually taken over the baton. We're really proud of the boy. Comes from Langa. Vuyani from Langa speaking right now. We really proud of that boy. Well done, Temba. We're proud of you, my boy. Rob, don't forget to play this one. His name is Temba. He comes from Langa. He came to score, came to score, came to score, score, score. His name is Temba. He comes from Langa. And he plays for Proteas. Just Google that song, you'll know. I think I'm singing it badly here.
Yeah, you did a bad job, man. We don't need Google.
Starting at HPP, you leading it? Miss Temba. He comes from Langa. He came to score, came to score, came to score, score, score. Temba Bavuma. He comes from Langa. And he plays for Proteas. La 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 la. La 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 la. He comes from Langa and he plays for Proteas. He comes from Langa and he plays for Proteas. Come on!
Oh, man, the interview is over. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll meet again tomorrow for Marawa Sports Worldwide. It's been a great evening. Cheers. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Rob.
You seem so calm, as you always do.
Made me shy there with the entry. But yeah, it's good to be here, Rob. I know it's been a long time. It's been a long time coming. But yeah, all is good. How are things on your side?
When the captain asked me that, I have to answer and say I feel very proud. I feel very proud that this moment finally is happening. And like you rightfully say, it's been a long time coming. I understand why it's been a long time coming, but sometimes a wait is worthwhile. That excitement. And again, everybody was just, there's no rehearsals, People heard that you're coming through. They saw that you're coming through. The one song that has been dominating the internet has been that one. I've got to thank your teammates for it. Ashul Prince being the captain of, the singers and everything else. How does that make you feel as a human being when you feel this level of love?
I'll be honest, bro, Rob. Even just the last couple of days, it's been quite overwhelming. I guess the reception, the emotion, hearing what people feel and what it means to them. Yes, for us as a team, for myself, it was about, winning a final. But I guess you never really know what it means to everyone, the people that matter here in the country. So, been overwhelming. But I think it also, you appreciate the love you get from people. South Africans, we are sports loving nation. We operate on extremes. When you do well, people give you love. When you don't do well, people also let you know. So I think it's a reminder of that. But yeah, I think in a lot of ways it's been overwhelming. It's taking me a couple of days. Maybe it'll take me a bit longer to really get accustomed to it all.
Would you ever though? This puts you in a place where nobody else who's been in your position has ever been. So you think of it that way and make that realize, in the same way that I think today is a celebration of 1995, Francois Pienaar, what happened at Ellis Park, lifting the Rugby World Cup. There are many milestones. So you would be in the same light as what we always think back then when we think of A95, for example.
Geez, it's big when you put it that way. I think from a personal point of view, and I said it in the press conference after the game, I think being recognized more than just a black African batsman or cricketer, I think that's something for me that brings a lot of this relief to it, because I think that title, it comes with certain connotations, more negative than anything. It's an appreciation in itself, understanding our history as a country and where, similar people of my kind, they didn't have the opportunities that I have, and they sacrificed and fought a lot for individuals like myself to have that. So me having that responsibility and pressure was still a privilege, but now being someone, across all races, across everything in the country, being the first in that, being someone who can have that opportunity to inspire the country to be one to inspire the cricketing nation to be one that goes on and wins trophies. That's something that you can only dream of being remembered for. It hasn't been easy, and we definitely don't do it alone. As much as I'm the captain, I've got team players there. Everyone has to play their role, and you're only as good as the tools that you have. So yeah, I think what we've done as a team, but I think for me personally, that's something, like I said, I'll walk with my chest out.
I'll tell you about the power of sport, Temba, is that earlier in the year, I got a voice note from somebody who's in KZN, and he says, the day that you host Temba Bavuma on your show, he says, ngezulu usibize sizomgidela ingoma kaSherman, to come and really sing praise to you. Says that your song they recorded in February, hoping that he would either win the Champions Trophy or the ICC Test Championship. So they based all the way, the lead singer is based all the way in Lundi. It was Lundi. KZN, Pakato Lundi. And when they heard that you're coming today, all sorts of plans were put into place to try and see if they can come through. But it was too late because, we had to delay the confirmation until this morning. But that was the intention, that they would. But I will give you a sample of what it is that they put together. And I hope that one day they get to perform this live for you.
Siyawuthanda Temba Bavuma Molo kapteni Siyawuthanda Temba Bavuma Molo kapteni Siyawuthanda Temba Bavuma Izodlala iqakamba Ihozana Hey, woza
Ayipheleli kanjani over? How was that sounding?
Woza hey, woza nawe lizodlala iqakamba. Woza hey, woza nawe lizodlala iqakamba. Woza hey, woza nawe lizodlala iqakamba. Woza nawe hey, woza nawe lizodlala iqakamba. Woza nawe hey, woza nawe hey, woza nawe.
And it beautifully goes on. You know, I'll share that with you. And
Please,
all I got to say is that just your acceptance of it, knowing that people, and you can tell it's a big group of people. It's almost like a black mambazo of some sort, you know, with respect. Your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, diyabulela kakhulu. I think man, what I've done, I guess my presence within the cricketing space, it spans beyond just being a cricketer, and it's really going to touch lives of a band of people. And I think through what we do, that's exactly what it is. What the lyrics are saying there was Zodlali cricket now we're we're inspiring people to not just take up the sport, but to go for their dreams. To irrespective of their situations in Simosabo, irrespective of what people say around them, go for your dreams, go for your passions. But yeah, I mean, those bits of appreciation, it gives credence to the journey, you know, through everything that you go through. It gives you strength, you know. Those days when are tough, where you kind of want to throw in the towel, and you haven't. It makes you proud that, you know, it makes me proud that I was able to keep going, and get to a point where people like that group are showing their love and appreciation.
You said something very critical. You said something very, very crucial. You said almost throwing in the towel. And that's why I want to pick it up when you come back from the break, though. Sia Kolisi, who is somebody who sits in your position, but on the rugby side. And he said something very profound, you know, when you guys got back. And he was alluding to what you're talking about now regarding the difficulties that you've had to go through. And he even said you've battled through pain, just like his career, really.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
Quiet, please.
The Wimbledon experience in Mzansi is back at Amex Tennis Town Monte Casino between 11 and 13 July 2025. Enjoy VIP hospitality, the ultimate big screen experience, and more than just strawberries and cream. Buy your tickets now using your Amex card on Howler and get 50% off on limited tickets. Amex Tennis Town, the championship's Wimbledon experience with the Mzansi advantage. Tennis is better with Amex.
In 50 meters, turn left. You missed the turn.
Okay, technically.
Recalculating.
But the new Haval H7 loves a detour. It's off-road capable yet refined and even a little wild.
A little wild?
Write your own story in the new Haval H7 from 6,999 per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's and book a test drive. Go with more. Go with the new GWM Haval H7.
In 50 meters, make a U-turn.
Oh, shush.
They say 2's a couple, 3's a crowd, but 4 is a party. Grab your crew and head to Panarotis for the classic Monsterito Quattro Pizza. Just $199.90. That's nearly half a meter of pizza. With your option of 4 different flavors, there's something for everyone. Whether you're into spicy, cheesy, meaty, or veggie goodness, visit Panarotis and enjoy every bite. Panarotis, big on family, big on pizza.
I have tried all the steps. I need a technician.
We will get a technician right away. Have you tried restarting?
Restarting isn't working. Technician, please.
Okay, we will work on that. Please restart while you wait.
Sometimes you need a human touch. Get personally your service with BestMed Medical Scheme, a 2025 BHF Titanium Award winner for service excellence. Visit bestmed.co.za. BestMed Medical Scheme is an authorized FSP.
Every night the tension builds. Will they take the deal or risk it all? Stay locked to Deal or No Deal. Weeknights at 6:30 p.m. on SABC2. Life-changing prizes are just one choice away. Fortune favors the bold. Will you deal? Brought to you by Lotto Star.
Lotto Star is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s. National Responsible Gambling Program. 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Are you looking for the best savings on spectacles? At Specsavers, enjoy 1,500 Rand off when you get tested at South Africa's trusted and most established optical group. Get 1,500 Rand off all frames in store, or use your 1,500 Rand off on our leading lens enhancements, such as drive light lenses that reduce artificial glare whilst driving. Book online or call your nearest store today. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
The ultimate test. The ultimate result for the Proteas.
The only bowler in Test cricket history with a strike rate below 40. Ladies and gentlemen, KG Kagiso Rabada.
I really love to ask him, how would he like to be remembered one day when he is gone?
Oh,
sure.
Wow.
Yo, that's deep.
That's very deep.
Let's just say gone off the cricket world.
Very patriotic. I hope they can see how much it means to me to play for South Africa.
I always have the memory of a Makayantini, doing the kissing of the turf at Lord's. And
if you look at Makaya and what he did as a person of color doing what he did, it then makes it possible and it makes you believe. An image is worth a 1,000 words, and it makes you believe that you can go there as a player of color.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
I've been called a lot of names in my life. Some names hurt. Some of them I quite like. But the name I've been called the most is Temba. My grandmother named me Temba because it means hope. Hope for our community. Hope for our country. And what would we be without hope? Hope comes from places like this and people like these. It brings positivity. It has energy. And that's what you need if you want to take on the best in the world. So if you're looking for something to call me, try determined, committed, patriotic, or a role model for those to come. Or just use my name now that you know what it means.
Sure. I still think that one of the most powerful and well-meaning ads that I've seen. Ads are sometimes all about everything else but you. That ad was about you. How do you feel now listening back in terms of describing, introducing yourself or reintroducing yourself to us?
It's the first time I've actually listened to it. I was obviously there when we were producing it, but I never listened to the whole piece. I don't like listening to myself or anything, listening or reading anything that has to do with me, but I think it's quite apt, right? Everything that it speaks about, in terms of the determination, the grit, in terms of being a hope for community, for communities, looking at where the story started for me. And I think it's inspirational in a lot of ways. I think sometimes it's only at when you have done something or you've won a trophy that everything really gets seen in the light that it's seen. But I think in my head, I've always held that belief. I've always had, I guess you can call it a delusional type of belief that I'm here for a reason. And I back myself 120%.
Ever wanted to give up?
Yeah, those thoughts come. I think you're only human. It's been a tough journey in a lot of ways, and I don't say that in a somber way. I don't say that in a better way. I've always felt where I found myself in South African cricket, joining the team, having the leadership, that the system didn't really prepare you for it. And I don't think the system was prepared for something like that. And I think also being the first in many ways, people need to get used to that idea. And you are the ones who will have faith in you, who will give you benefit of the doubt, and they are the ones who will be resistant to that idea. And it's really finding a way to be comfortable in all of that. Easier for me to say, but it's been tough. It's been tough to really discovering who you are through all that hardship and struggle. But that's what builds your character, right? I think if you are pushing and trying to achieve anything crazy, you can't run away from the struggle. It's a part and parcel. Well, it's been a part and parcel of my journey thus far.
How lonely was it though, for you?
Captaincy, it's a lonely job, Rob. Being a player as well, it's also lonely. You go through struggles that you look around maybe in the changing room and you're not too sure who you can speak to. You're not sure if they can resonate with what you are saying. Also from I guess maybe it's a culture within the cricketing space. You're not really encouraged to speak out. Even my own culture, actually, as a Xhosa man, you're taught to endure. So it's tough in that way, in that you're dealing with things very internally, but I think it really builds you. I guess the trick, if there is a trick, is to keep going. Keep having faith, keep having belief that things are gonna get better at the end. You obviously got to put in the work. You got to put in the sacrifices. I'm fortunate, Rob, is that I've got a strong support system around me. So, with all of those things in place, and the belief that I have, I always believe things were gonna work out. But I do believe that lessons and observations in my own journey, that people looking, it will make it a lot easier for other guys coming through. Someone unfortunately had to deal with whatever it is, but I think now if there's a black African leader, if there's a black leader that goes on to lead a Proteas team, we're not going to look at it indifferently. If there's a black batsman that's been selected, people will give him the benefit of doubt that he's actually there on skill. We're not there for optics or to fill in a team. But someone had to deal with all of that. I didn't ask for it. But I'm glad. I've always said, I'm glad that I'm still standing. And I believe that I'm in a place that whatever comes my way, I'll deal with it.
I mean, you're 35 now, so at times you can even speak more openly than you did before. And to go back to your words where you said you believe that the system somehow also failed you, where do you think the system directly failed you and how that could be improved?
I think mentorship is a big thing. Again, I think a lot of our black dudes, they have your Makaya Ndini to look up to. Makaya, he achieved. He's a legend in the country. He's in the record book. So you look at the fact that you can look and touch Makaya. That's enough in itself. For me, there weren't other black African batters. There weren't other in the system, who'd been where I was, and I'm not saying that there should have been for me to be able to achieve, but I think listening to KG, what he said there, the fact that you see, that gives you that belief. Growing up, and I think like with my uncles who played the sport at the highest level that they could, they would speak about guys like in the West Indians, Carl Hooper, those type of guys, and we grew up loving the West Indians, but from a South African point of view, I mean, as sad as it is in a way, it wasn't really spoken about. And I think just generally around, being, especially I think when I came in as a captain, I think I came in at quite a turbulent time within our cricket system. People were ripping it apart and, There was the SJN, and current and former players. They spoke about their experiences within the system, black players, and their bouts of oppression. And people are also looking at the Proteas team. And I just come in as a captain myself in the white ball stuff. Dean Elgar took the red ball stuff. And a lot of the work that we did there was really trying to protect the team. It was really kind of putting yourself, what your own interests are as a batter, and really trying to butter up this environment. And that was tough. That was tough, bro, to sit there. You know what your background is, you know what your values are, you know what you stand for, and you somehow have to empathize when an individual says, look, I don't see the value or the need of taking a knee or supporting Black Lives Matter. This is what I believe in as, that's hard, and you're kind of forced to do it as the leader, because you feel that that's the best thing for the team. But then when you have to face your loved ones, I go back Langa, it's hard to kind of explain to Abakulu, look guys, this is our stance. It's not me kind of bending to the knee. So that was quite tough to deal with.
Because then you don't have the support of the people that you think should be supporting you. That was massive. And when you talk about SJN, and for those uninitiated, that was when Advocate Dumisa Nsebeza had to take charge of a hearing where a lot of the back players had to go back in time and say, this happened. Even Makai Ndini, having to run on his own, not being given a space in the combi to be part with his teammates, were all stories that were told. They're very sad stories that I think given up until today, they're very hard to digest. So when you mention, and I agree, because now you win, you're carrying the mace, we're looking at the visuals, and they'll cut away to individuals. I'm saying, but this guy did not want Temba Bavuma there. But they're celebrating on your blood, sweat, and tears. That disturbed me because people hide behind other people's success. And that really saddened me. And I was just elevated by the fact that here you are, in spite of everything, in spite of people doubting or questioning your legitimacy. And that's the hardest thing to do when you question someone's legitimacy to play for their country, but they have a proven track record to play. They stab you in the back, they attempt to, but they fail. But that is why today we celebrate you, champ. 060-708-0484. Sometimes it's hard, but you know what? We celebrate in the end.
Hi, Rob. This is Tom Nyati from Edenville. Greetings to you and greetings to the captain. Temba, I'm proud to see a boy of color in this space of our country, which I can say we cannot talk about the difficulties which you have gone through. Let's just celebrate you. I'm proud of you, boy. I'm proud of you. And I wish you all the best in your career and everything that you do. I just hope we still have many years of you in the Proteas colors. But congratulations above all. Thanks, Rob.
Temba Bavuma, nokade ngenalo ithemba. Ngicabanga uvumile manje ukubona ukuthi you were the right man for the job. You were the right captain to take us and lead us there. The man from Langa. It took us amalanga 4 for that one special day to become a day that we'll never forget. Your name will forever be etched in our history, in our country, and our sports, because you've done something remarkable for us as a nation. Qhubeka njalo Temba, and I'm so happy ukuthi Temba Bavuma, because for those that don't have hope, ekugcineni bagcine bevumile nabo ukubona imisebenzi yakho emihle oyenzayo. Khuphuka njalo captain wethu. The leader that you are, may you continue to rise.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa, and to the MSW listeners, and good evening to your guest in studio, Temba Bavuma. That man has long carried the weight of criticism, often unfair and deeply personal. He has been body shamed, questioned for his place in the team, yet through it all, he stood tall with dignity and purpose. In a game that often overlooks the mental toll of such pressure, Temba's silence spoke louder than any words. He didn't retaliate. He responded with performance, resilience, and leadership. His recent triumph is not just a win on the field. It's a statement to every doubter and every young cricketer who has been told they don't belong. Temba, you are more than a cricketer. You are a symbol of perseverance, strength, and grace. Under fire, you didn't just silence the noise, you turned it into applause. You are a hero. Thanks, Mr. Marawa. Then in Eswatini.
Hi, Rob. Well, I just want to start by saying that MSW, it's the show that it thinks it is. I mean, we're having champions back to back. So exciting to be having Temba Bavuma today. And I would just like to say to him, congratulations, to him for winning the Protea WTC as a captain. Well done to him, and well done to the Proteas once again. It's Ntando again from Pretoria.
Hello, Tarob. This is Lungst from Carltonville. Oh, bye. Congratulations, man. Kutheni bengabe nje mkhulu ubuye naye le misi pha kwala ungene ngabe bakubona mengabe stupid bazinca abantu bethu madoda ngawe ngoba kaloku before uba ile captain yelizwe usuka kwezo zandla zelo langa Camako. Thank you.
Oh man, guys.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
Welcome to the Chamberlain Hotline. Press 1 for heaters, 2 for expert DIY advice, 3 for deals hotter than your geyser.
Or press 4 for all the above when you visit your nearest Chamberlain for our famous for warming your homes promotion. Get everything you need to make winter warmer from the 19th of June to the 6th of July, plus 10% off chamber value paint mixing and a free hot chocolate while you wait. Chamberlain, famous for hardware since 1903.
Probably needed a hug, but decided to buy the Renault Kwid instead. Hear me out. Listening to moody songs on the infotainment system that seamlessly connects to my phone via Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. While sitting in the perfectly cushioned driver's seat with the light streaming through the open windows, kinda feels like a hug anyway. And for only $1,999 per month, come on.
Get the stylish, SUV-inspired Renault Kwid for only $1,999 per month. Offer exclusive to Renault Financial Services. T's and C's apply.
There's even more value to love at Food Lovers Market this Big Deal Wednesday. Buy 2 500-gram Red Globe grape punnets for an amazing 49 Rand. That's right, get 2 500-gram Red Globe grape punnets for only 49 Rand. Now that's what you call great value. Valid this Wednesday only at all Inland Food Lovers Market stores. It's in the experience.
This June, good South Africans are not wasting their paycheck. They're getting an affordable budget insurance quote, plus up to 10% off car insurance, plus they can add scratch and dent cover for 10 Rand a month. Why is a 10 Rand called a tiger? Who cares? As long as you're saving hundreds. Go to budgetinsurance.co.za. Hurry! It's for June only! Budget is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent and reviewed annually. T's and C's online.
Is there anything worse than man flu or sick kiddos at home? Don't worry, Mum. Everflu C Immune Booster has got you covered. Just pop, fizz and drink to help keep sniffles and sneezes at bay. For little ones and grumpy grown-ups alike. Everflu C Immune Booster, your immunity's best friend. Also available for kids ages 4 and up. Pharma Dynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
This is the Oppo Reno 13, built to impress. With powerful AI portrait retouching, ultra clear night mode, 50 megapixel main camera, a crystal clear 6.67-inch AMOLED display, and so much more. It's slim, it's smart, and it's tough with IP69 water and dust resistance. Now from just $7.99 a month on a 36-month prime package at MTN. Oppo Reno 13. Smarter, sharper, bolder. Only at participating MTN stores. T's and C's apply.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
The ultimate test. The ultimate result for the Proteas.
The only bowler in Test cricket history with a strike rate below 40. Ladies and gentlemen, KG Kagiso Rabada. The role that he's played, Shukri Conrad, the role that he's played in just embracing the squad and the team and individuals that you have. You know what he's done for Temba and his sense of belief and, you know, all the songs and you guys giving him the support as well.
Not many people outside of cricket know about Shukri. Shukri has been on the coaching circuit for quite some time, and, you know, he's been at national national academy level. When I went to national academy, he coached, at the time that Graham Smith and Jacques Callis and them were playing at the Cobras. He coached at the Lions. I mean, he's earned his apprenticeship.
So amazing, so amazing.
#MSW. #MSW.
Oh, let's say the ironies of life, guys. I was saying to the captain earlier on air that it's exactly 30 years ago that the Springboks created magic and made history. And look who's in studio today, a captain who's made history himself.
#MSW.
By the time apartheid ended, President Mandela had inherited a nation still divided. He needed to find a way for them to connect emotionally. Curiously, he took a chance on sports. On the 1995 Rugby World Cup to be played right here at Ellis Park Stadium.
It's awesome walking down here. Imagine the stadium full of people. It was a very emotional ride for us, and people didn't realize the emotional thing.
I ask you all to stand behind them tomorrow, because they are our pride. They are your pride.
South Africa have won the World Cup.
Yeah, you can't describe it. Not in my wildest dreams did I think that Nelson Mandela would pitch up at the final wearing the Springbok on his heart. And when he walked into our changing room to say good luck to us, and he turned around and my number was on his back, it was just an amazing feeling.
It is because I understood the impact of sport.
#MSW. #MSW.
The impact of sport is impacting us even till today, the 24th of June 2025. The captain, a man who's never lost a test match as South Africa's captain. The secret behind it all lies within his frame, lies within what he's made as far as magic is concerned. And that is why we take magic from 95 into magic in 2025. And that's just a matter of time, guys. And people are saying, you know what, Temba, you fought for the country.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to Temba Bavuma. Rob, as a huge fan of sports development in this country, had goosebumps seeing a picture of the young Temba Bavuma that was making the rounds on social media, wearing an MTN t-shirt, sitting with other young cricketers next to a boundary. And for me, Rob, these are type of pictures that are taken on a regular basis in South Africa of youngsters pushing their dreams. But many of these pictures, we don't get an opportunity to revisit them because these dreams are not being realized. But very grateful for everyone in cricket development to have given us an opportunity to revisit that picture of Temba Bavuma, whom we see today as the captain, one of the greatest captains that we've ever seen. But also, I just want to thank you, Temba, for giving us a story of perseverance, resilience, and relentless pursuit for excellence, because you never gave up, but continue to fight for your country. And this is a remarkable story. But I just want to find out the decision to walk around the Lords with your son and carrying the maize. What is it that you were trying to impart to the young man? Because for me, that was a very remarkable scene to have witnessed. But thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for raising the South African flag very high and leading us with determination and character. Thank you so much, Tebogo.
Tebogo, thank you so much indeed. Lots of questions. Maybe let's start with the one with Tebogo. Iconic moment. Your son, the maize, yourself.
Yeah, the moment, it wasn't intentional. It wasn't planned in any way. I think for me, over those 4 days, that's probably what sticks out for me, Rob, is the fact that in that moment, my family was there to enjoy the moment. You know, cricket gives us a lot. It's given me a lot, but it's also taken a lot as well. And we're always away from family, and for them to be there to celebrate in that, for Rulisha, my son, for him as well. He doesn't know what happened. He doesn't know what I was holding in my hands. But for him to be a part of that story, it's beautiful, you know. And I think it puts perspective to a lot of things that I do. I don't do it for I don't just do it for myself. I do it for the people that support me through thick and thin.
Right, a lot of you viewing this on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I do acknowledge Mutetebe says, good evening, and our very own Temba Bavuma. My question is, what was going through his mind when he was struggling with that hamstring injury during the game? We'll get to that. Lots of you asking that particular one. Linda says, we are really proud of Temba's achievement, resilience, dedication, and all efforts for the Proteas. We will always celebrate you, Mr. Bavuma. They say that dynamite comes in very small packages. And Percy says, welcome Skipper, welcome Bavuma. Masibulele Sean says, this guy is the best captain I've ever witnessed in the green cap. He says, I love you, man. He uses another word that we can't use on radio. He says, Ndwane Sekasi. He says, tell Temba that I was there in Newlands when he got his 100, and I'll be there. Oko. So let me take a quick one there from Santon. Malibuya, good evening.
Good evening, Rob. Good evening, Temba. I just wanted to congratulate Temba and the team. They've made us very, very proud. And thank you for breaking the 30-year curse. I have no doubt this is the start of us going on an ICC run of trophies over the next few years. Thank you, Temba, and congratulations. We're very, very proud of you.
Well, Malibuye, thank you so much, man. Straightforward. Broken the curse, man. As long as Madiba was behind bars.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, isn't it? We've been speaking about this as a team. It's been my biggest motivator as to why, I haven't given in when things have been tough. I think there's a lot of relief for a lot of us, but I think as well from a belief point of view, it puts us on a different wavelength. I think not just us as a team, but even the younger guys coming, I think of the young guys, Tristan Stubbs, Marco Janssen, all those young guys, they've tasted success at relatively early within their career. And those are the type of things that will stay in your mind. Those are the type of things that will push you to want to live those moments again.
Was Pat Cummings trying to do a bit of reverse psychology there in the photo shoot?
When?
The pre-match photo shoot. I think he was trying to instill and say, maybe you probably didn't even pick it up though, in a way, just he mentioned something about this is where the WTC was won. So he was almost trying to throw at you a little bit of reverse psychology. You don't get messed around. I think you've heard probably worse things in your life than somebody just muttering those words.
Yeah, I mean, at that time, but Robbie, when you listen to what you want to listen to, right?
Yeah.
I think by that point, we just come back from Arendal. That's where we had the camp. And I mean, those 5-6 days we were together. We left there mentally in a different space. We had a lot of belief. We were in some sort of a zone. So, I mean, I was silently or quietly confident about our chances, about my own chances. So nothing at that point was really gonna derail me. And I mean, the Australians, they're known for their banter in build-ups of the game. So you expect those type of things.
What about the sledging though? Because I know that it's something that you never really want to touch on. But surely, how bad was it?
The Australians of now are not as verbal as maybe 5-10 years ago. 5-10 years ago, you used to hear it.
It was war there. Eh?
You could feel it. Whereas the guys, I mean, now they're still aggressive. They still play hard, but they're not verbally in your face. So, I mean, in the game, yes, the guys, I think more late to day 3 when Aiden and I were getting the game in our favor. Guys started speaking. Are we gonna choke? Started speaking about the score. Trying to get us out of the zone that we were in. But look, I mean, if you had played them, I remember when we played against Australia 2015 in Perth. I mean, that was my first tour of Australia with South Africa. Yeah, you felt it then. But now the guys are a bit more calmer from a verbal point of view.
Okay, not a bad thing. Shuki Conrad. Let's talk about a guy who sat where you're sitting very openly straight after his first press conference. Asked him directly about you. and he was unwavering now as he was unwavering back then in terms of his belief as far as what you carry, what you can bring to the fore. Has no worry whatsoever about the returns that you give the country. Has no qualms about the leadership that you give in terms of cricket and captaincy of a South African national team. What was it and how did you formulate that bond, that relationship? What won both of you over to believe in each other?
I think firstly, I mean, Shukri for me, he's been massive, not just as a coach, but almost someone who I can openly confide in. You know, people know me as someone who doesn't speak a lot. I don't entertain emotion and all that type of things. But when I'm with him, I'm able to get into a space where I can really say what's in my mind, what's in my heart. I've worked with Shukri before. First time I worked with him was 2017. It was a team in England. And we didn't form much of a relationship then. But then he came again as, he hates this word, the caretaker coach. We were playing against England, I think 2022, early 22. And there was where the relationship really started. You know, we sat, it was about 2 days out before the first game. It was following our test tour from Australia, but also the T20 World Cup in Australia, which obviously I got a lot of flack with. And there I just got the sense of someone who just cared about the person. You know, he didn't ask me about how I'm going to hold the bat or where I'm going to put my feet. It was, you know, just trying to understand what's happening inside. And I mean, to think about it now, he got me to open up, and it got me in the space where I could enjoy the game. And play my best cricket. So from there, our relationship really grew. And then he came in as the coach of the test staff, and I remember meeting him at SACS in Cape Town, SACS College on the side of the field, and he said he'd like me to take over the captaincy. And my first question to him was, why me? You know, and I guess, Rob, it's a learning from previously when I was announced as captain, is that the way he answered, he had no doubt as to why I was there as captain. You know, he felt I was the best batter in the team. He felt I was the best leader, and he was unequivocal about his stance. You know, and you need that. You know, you need that as a player. You need as a captain, because I feel like in any team, the most important relationship is between the coach and the captain. We both had the same vision as to what we wanted for the team. We weren't going to complicate things. And I think all the success that we've managed, it hasn't been by accident. The players will tell you everything is thought through, everything is deliberate. And most importantly, we keep the main thing. He looks after anything external that potentially can penetrate within the team. And my job, honestly, is to inspire the players and make sure that we execute. So it's made life for me a lot easier. He's not scared to have tough conversations, the type of tough conversations you would like to have at times. And I think that's where the relationship grows between two people. You know, he can say what he feels. I can tell him what we feel. We don't agree always when it comes to selection and all of that. But at the end of the day, whatever decision is made is always for the betterment of the team. So, I mean, I know I can rap lyrical about Shukri. I think all of us within the team can do that. We look forward what he can do as well within the white ball space.
A remarkable human being. I also got to give credit to CSA Director of National Teams, now Kingwe, who's played such a big role in believing in everybody around the team. Time messes up a lot of things. But all I'm going to say to you and ask you is that, when was the last time you cried?
When was the last time I cried? I shed a tear when we qualified for the final. That was Pakistan Super Sport Park. When we played here, when we won the final, There were no tears. I don't know why.
I'm getting worried though. We need to, you go to a pharmacy, you see these fake tears that I'm like, this man needs it. You're stronger than most, Temba. You are, I don't know, the man van Staal. I forgot what that was back then on television, but something along those lines. So I liken you to that, but you're also very human. People are saying, let's bring that maize to Langa. Let's bring it to the people. Let them touch, feel, taste it, enjoy it. Let it not just be something they can see on like pay-per-view television. Bring it to the people, and long may this journey continue. Long may the conversations continue. I know that's not going to be the last conversation I have with you. I think there's still so much you can impart in terms of the global sphere. Thanks for the time. Thanks for being champion. Thanks for being the leader.
Thanks, bro.
You just don't lose, man, a test match. I don't know how you do it. You might have lost your directions to the studio, but here you are. You made it on time. Ladies and gentlemen, Temba Bavuma, captain by captain, I salute you. We are very proud of you.
Thanks, bro, Rob. Appreciate it, man.
Sure. What else do we do tomorrow? Hey, just take time off. Go to the beach. Tune in again tomorrow for Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
The thrill, the drama, the action.
Play the game again.
Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW. Live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. At the same